Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's get right into your twin flame reading. Let's gain some insight into your connection. Let's gain some insight into what's going on in your connection. We have the Temperance card and we have the Death card. Okay. So what I'm really getting is that, almost like a continuation from the previous reading, the reading before this, is that there is a balancing of energy going on in your connection. So in the past, there may have been a lot of intense emotion, intense love, intense attraction. So right now what's going on is the need for balance, emotional balance within each of you. So when there's a lot of intensity, the need for balance would be like not intense, like calm. What's the opposite of intense? Like serene, peaceful. So if you can see this, these two cups here, I'm really getting the sense of needing to balance the energies. Water represents emotion. So really balancing of our emotions. So in your connection, if a lot of intense emotions have been coming up, this time of pause is for both of you to balance the energies within your connection, which also means balancing our emotions within. And sometimes we do need that kind of pause. We need a break so that we can kind of regroup, give our emotional bodies a break. And even without the twin flame connection, with everything going on in the world, especially depending on where you are, there's a lot that's going on that's affecting our emotional bodies. So this card is about balancing the energies. The universe is stepping in to help us balance. And so I'm also getting like there's a lot of I want to say not aggressive, but like angry, resentful, a lot of like yeah, I want to say, I guess, anger, resentment. These energies are coming up to the surface, even if sometimes we don't know why we feel this anger and this upset. It is because of what's going on the planet. So like the universe is stepping in to help calm our emotions, to kind of put us in a timeout. So this also requires putting us in somewhat of an emotional timeout from our twin flame connection, because when we're really connecting with our twin flame, everything's intensified. Our emotions are intensified. The way you experience one another is intensified. Emotions that just come up is intensified. Love is intensified. So this is really about balancing, the need for balance to just help us with what's going on in life, with our twin flame connection, with the changes. And I was out today doing errands, and what I was feeling is that there is an underlying, it's not disappointment, it's more like frustrating at what changes are in place. Like wearing masks every day, like it gets so cumbersome and annoying, and breathing in our own you know, CO2. It's like, that's not even healthy either. So a lot of frustration, annoyance, like things like you have impatience, that kind of energy. And it's very natural because what we're going through is, you know, we've never had to go through before. So the universe is stepping in to help us give this pause. And a way that we can do that is by giving ourselves a timeout. So this is necessary just for our own well-being, for our own peace of mind. The universe is helping us to balance the energies within so that we can balance the energies on the planet. Okay, so whatever you're feeling emotionally, we do need this time out so that we can come back into balance, to come back into our Zen, peaceful harmony and alignment. So with the Death card, it's a new beginning. The old has like come to an end. With death comes rebirth. So death is not meant to be a scary thing. It means an end of a cycle and the beginning of a new. So when we feel that this sadness, a lot of everyone is feeling like this sadness. Twin flames are feeling like, you know, like something's come to an end, or their connection coming to an end, or, you know, just sadness and loneliness from what's going on in the planet. This is actually symbolizing like mourning of the old, dying of the old. But with dying of the old always comes renewal, the blossoming of something new. So where there has been an ending, I want to say, of what was happening in your connection is now the beginning of a new. So this is a very positive indication, like when winter ends, spring is just around the corner. This is the springtime of your connection. This is springtime. This is new love. This is blossoming possibility. So when a lot of us are feeling like these heavy emotions of sadness, it's very understandable and natural because we are mourning what has ended, not what's been lost, because we haven't lost anything. All we've lost is a cycle. But with the end of a cycle begins a new cycle. So when we're feeling loss, it's natural because we mourn something that we were so used to, something that we were accustomed to for, you know, a length of time. So with the sadness, we say goodbye to the old. So that is in itself a good thing. We mourn the loss. We feel that sadness, which is great because it's very important to allow ourselves to feel that, to acknowledge that there's sadness and loneliness there. And once we fully allow ourselves to feel that, then there is space to feel renewal, to feel hope. And then we can start feeling this energy of rebirth and joy. So there's been an ending to a cycle in your connection. The way you were in your connection has died and gone away. So that's why a lot of twin flames are kind of like even just scrambling to get a reading done because they're feeling this uncertainty, feeling of like, what is this? What does this feel like? This connection, it's like completely different. And it's understandable because The old way of how your connection was has now died away, along with the old ways of, you know, how we were as a planet, as humanity. Even though we can't, you know, physically see that change, well, we are somewhat in the world seeing a lot of change. But in a sense, that is saying goodbye to the old. So it's very, very understandable to feel intense emotions of sadness and loss. So if that's what you're feeling, it is because you're feeling the end of the cycle, the death of the old. But death only means renewal. So your connection, your twin flame connection, is going through a rebirth. And that can be scary, you know? So not to be alarmed by all of the emotions that you may be feeling. And for people who are very like empathic, you're picking up on the emotions not only of the twin flame collective, but of the planet. And it can be very intense. So really, it's important to ground ourselves with taking walks in nature, having like sea salt baths to just help ground our energy and to not get so swept up in the emotion of what we're going through as a planet. As a planet, we are rebirthing into the new energies. And that can seem very overwhelming and scary because we don't know what the future is going to look like or feel like. Change always seems frightening, especially to the inner child. The inner child doesn't know what the outcome is. So it's very natural for our inner child to just get like frozen in fear. So it's our job to as a parent to our inner child to comfort and reassure our inner child that everything's going to be okay. This is just a time of transition for the better. Okay. So not to worry about what you're feeling. This is very natural. It's very natural for the inner child to feel these things. So let's see what is coming up from within the inner child that is blocking us from our true happiness and our twin flame union. What is still coming up from within the inner child? Okay, so we got 3 here. So this one says, I'm moving on, I'm much happier. This says, I feel scared of this connection. And this says, I'm sorry, please forgive me. So within the inner child, you may be experiencing this as your worst nightmare is that your twin flame has moved on and is much happier without you. Like that is like just feeling like you're being stabbed in the heart. And it's not that your twin flame is doing this, it's the perception from your inner child's perspective. As a child, we experience people leaving our life or like leaving a connection, whether it's friendship or love or, you know, exes, loved ones, parents, caregivers. They move on and without us, they seem much happier. And you're like, well, how can they be happy and I'm in so much pain? So this is a pattern within the inner child that sees your twin flame as moved on and is much happier. So we perceive this as the truth, but it's just an illusion because, again, it's stemming from the inner child's wound of feeling abandoned by a loved one and then moving on being happier. Again, it's an illusion, and it's a pattern that we project onto our twin flame because we haven't healed the wounds. They haven't been released. We're not taught how to release or process these feelings and wounds. And so this is coming up within the inner child as an energetic block. Because what this does energetically is it pushes our twin flame away. It pushes our happiness away because the inner child is still holding on to these wounds. So the next one was, I feel scared of this connection. So the inner child is fearing change. As a child, we experience change as a frightening thing because children need a sense of security, a sense of routine, just things staying the same so that the child feels safe. When there's big change, it's very upsetting for a child. So you being with your twin flame is a big change in life. And so the inner child tends to push away this connection because it's going to be a big change when you come into union. So this attachment to this fear of change needs to be released because, again, it's a pattern from that you experienced in childhood. It needs to be released so that it just clears the pathway to happiness and union. This says, I'm sorry, please forgive me. So I'm getting the sense that there's always about forgiveness within twin flame connections. And that's what typically shows up. But what I'm getting is that there's a part of us that doesn't want to apologize, or it doesn't want to admit that we are at fault, that we are wrong. And as children, children don't want to feel like they did something wrong because they're fearful of being punished and unloved and unaccepted. So there's a big part of us that doesn't want to say sorry or be apologetic, because then that is admitting that we're wrong. So that's the fear that the inner child has. The inner child is holding on to being loved. So the inner child doesn't want to admit that they did anything wrong. So this energy of fearing of being punished, fear of being unloved, is a pattern that's creating a block. And so when we reassure our inner child that it's okay that we make mistakes, that we're only human, that we are still lovable and loved even when we make mistakes. And so this is like a big lesson in the twin flame dynamic, because when we cannot forgive ourselves, we cannot forgive our twin flame. When we cannot admit that we made a mistake and we can forgive ourselves for that mistake, we're never going to be able to forgive our twin flame. When we can forgive ourselves for the mistakes we've made in our lives, towards our twin flame, towards others, when we can forgive ourselves and truly be at peace, we can forgive others. We can forgive our twin flame. We can forgive our parents. We can forgive anyone who's hurt us. It's not easy because the inner child wants to hold on to being right. The inner child wants to hold on to the other person being wrong, being bad, being evil, because the inner child wants to remain like loved. So our inner child will never want to admit that we made a mistake. So this whole pattern of fearing of being unloved and rejected is a wound, is a pattern that needs to be healed and released. Okay. let's get some guidance. Can we please get some guidance from the universe on how to navigate this twin flame connection? Guidance from the universe, please. Woo! Okay, so I gotta put on my glasses for this. This says, sacred self, unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. So each of us has certain talents, gifts that need to be shared with the world. By not sharing them, it's like we're being selfish. Part of expressing these gifts is allowing our inner child to feel engaged in the world. When we don't express our gifts, whatever they are, in this instance, it's like they're saying like dance, perhaps. When we do not express these gifts, we're not fully living our purpose. So whatever our gifts are, whatever your gifts are, they're meant to be shared. They're meant to be expressed. So the universe is saying, in order to just come into alignment with who we truly are, we have to express our gifts in the world. So if you're a writer, if you're a painter, an artist, a photographer, a sculptor, a designer, an architect, a builder, a carpenter, I don't know, whatever it is, you are meant to share these gifts. You're meant to express them through you. By expressing them, you also express your inner child, because these gifts are what our inner child loves to do. So if you're a dancer, just express that. The body, the inner child needs to express through the body. So that's the guidance, because when we express our gifts, we come into alignment with who we truly are. And I know this message is always for me, and I never listen. But I know you guys will, because we want to be in alignment so we can be in alignment with ourselves, with our twin flame. So it's being with our twin flame, being in union is a great motivation to come into alignment with who we truly are. If we're not coming into alignment with who we truly are, we don't really want union. We say we want union, we think we want union, we feel we want union, but we're not in union with ourselves. We're not in union or alignment with who we truly are. Expressing your gifts is part of being in alignment with who you truly are. That one always comes up. It's like it's for me. Okay, one more card for guidance from the universe. This says intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So even in separation, your purpose is happiness. And you're like, what? I'm miserable without my twin flame. I get it. But the universe is saying that's not what is meant for you. You are not meant to be in misery in separation. How can we be happy with our twin flame if we don't know how to be happy by ourselves? Happiness is your purpose. The universe is intervening. We are having an intervention. You know, what's going on the planet, that is an intervention. It's helping us go within. It's helping us determine what's truly important. was going to say something else. Separation is intervention. It's divine intervention, even though we can't see it, even though we're sitting there going, no, it's not. I hate separation. It's intervention. It's intervention. So when we see it as, okay, this is a sign from the universe. What's going on the planet, what's going on in your connection is intervention. So when we don't take that as, okay, what do I need to do? Be open to what you need to do just to be happy. That's why the universe is intervening, so that we can find out how to be happy. So you can find out how to be happy. That's your only job. That's your purpose, to be happy. When you're happy, fully expressed with your gifts, your twin flame is just gonna knock, like bang down your door and say, I'm here. Not because you were waiting for them, but because you were fully expressed and happy. So let's do that. Let's be fully expressed with our gifts and let's be happy. It's great because it's that simple. That is alignment. Happiness is alignment. We don't remember that. We're taught everything but that. But happiness is our birthright. We were born happy. It's just we're conditioned that we're not happy. We are. So your purpose is to remember you're happy. Be happy, and expressing your gifts is gonna make you happy. Take off the attention from our twin flame just for 2 seconds to express your gifts and be happy, and then you're not even gonna realize time just flies, and then your twin flame is in your life like magic. So that is the message from the universe. Yeah, because it was getting kind of heavy earlier, so. Let's get some love messages from your twin flame. Everyone loves the love messages, so let's get some love messages from your twin flame. Here's one. I know you are the one. Stop doubting, you guys. They know you are the one. You just don't believe they are. I do miss you. See? I want to give us a chance. Messages from your twin flame. Every time. I'm in my truth. They can't run from the truth anymore. They know you're the one. They know that they love you. What's going on here? Okay? They know the truth. They're in their truth. And when they're in their truth, that means they are more in alignment, because it's like when we're in our truth, we're in integrity with who we truly are. We're in alignment. Everything is aligned. So union has to happen. Love message from your twin flame. There's too many. Okay, let's take these. I want our connection. I want our connection, damn it. I'm ready for us. I can't get you off my mind. I feel nostalgic. This card always comes up. So it's kind of like they're remembering your times together. This could be past life memories. They're just remembering your essence. They're remembering what it felt like to be with you, and they've never felt like that with anyone else. So they're caught in these memories of being with you. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this twin flame reading. Be sure to book your personal reading with me, and I'd really love for each and every one of you to receive the inner child healings to help assist you with the blocks that are coming up, preventing us from moving forward, from, you know, keeping us stuck, keeping our inner child in that fear. And sometimes we don't even realize that that is happening, because it happens on such a deep level, and a lot of times it's what we suppress. So please be sure to book your, to order your twin flame, order your inner child healings. And I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in, for watching these videos, and for all your support and great comments. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for following me on Instagram and TikTok. I love all of you so very much. It's such an honor to be in service this way to each and every one of you. So, as always, until next time, I'm wishing you all so much love and peace.